The stage glows beneath 1,000 lights, each beam cutting through the tension that fills the air. The crowd buzzes with excitement, unaware that they are about to witness something extraordinary. America's Got Talent 2025, where dreams are tested, where hearts race, and where one moment can change a life forever. The judges sit, poised and skeptical, ready to measure greatness in seconds. Cameras zoom in on the faces of contestants backstage, some trembling, some whispering silent prayers, some staring up at the ceiling as if asking the universe for one more chance. This is not just another night of performances. It's a battlefield of dreams, and only the fearless will make it through. Among the hopefuls stands a young woman, her hands shaking as she clutches the microphone. She isn't a celebrity, she isn't famous online, she's just someone who refused to let go of her dream. Behind her eyes lives a lifetime of struggle, sleepless nights, rejection letters, and endless doubts. The host announces her name, and for a split second, the world feels silent. She steps forward into the spotlight. The audience watches with curiosity, some expecting failure, others simply waiting to be entertained. But this moment means everything to her, it's the proof that she can still rise. The music begins softly. Her voice trembles at first, uncertain and fragile, but soon it grows, finding strength in the emotion that has carried her through every storm. Each note echoes not just in the hall, but in the hearts of those listening. The judges exchange surprised looks. The crowd, once murmuring, is now frozen in awe. They feel the truth in her song, the pain, the perseverance, the raw humanity. For the first time tonight, the spotlight doesn't just illuminate a contestant, it reveals a fighter. In that instant, everything changes. The lights seem brighter, the stage wider. Her voice soars higher, breaking through every invisible wall of fear that ever held her back. When she finishes, there is a moment of silence so deep it feels like the world has stopped spinning. Then, a roar of applause shakes the arena. People rise to their feet, shouting, clapping, crying. The judges stand too, smiling, clapping, one of them wiping a tear. No one expected this. No one saw it coming. But she knew, deep down, that this was her time. The camera pans across the faces of the audience, capturing pure emotion. Strangers hugging, families cheering, the energy electric. Somewhere backstage, other contestants watch in disbelief and inspiration, realizing that maybe they, too, have a chance. Maybe it's not about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to show the world your soul. As she steps off stage, tears glistening in her eyes, she whispers to herself, "I did it." And she did. Not just for herself, but for everyone who's ever been told they weren't good enough, for everyone who's ever failed but stood up again. This wasn't just a performance, it was a reminder that courage, when mixed with passion, can make even the quietest voice heard around the world. The lights dim, and the crowd falls into a charged silence. The air feels thick with anticipation. What just moments ago was a loud, buzzing theater is now a universe holding its breath. On stage, a performer stands still. A dancer who once faced a life-changing injury, now ready to prove that limits exist only in the mind. The camera zooms in, catching the fire in his eyes. The judges lean forward, uncertain yet intrigued. The first beat drops, slow and powerful. His body moves, not perfectly, not flawlessly, but with a rawness that pulls at every heart in the room. Every motion tells a story of pain, struggle, and unbreakable determination. As the rhythm builds, the dance becomes more than a performance, it's a declaration. Each spin defies the past, each leap rejects the idea of defeat. The crowd can't look away. They're witnessing more than talent, they're watching a human being rise from the ashes of everything that once tried to destroy him. The lights pulse with every beat, and soon, the entire arena feels alive. Social media cameras flash, people shout in disbelief, someone whispers, "Is this real?" Then, the unexpected happens. Mid-performance, the dancer stumbles, just for a second. The audience gasps. But instead of breaking down, he smiles. That one smile tells a story of every sleepless night he fought through, every doctor who said he'd never dance again, every moment he refused to surrender. The music swells, and with it, his energy multiplies. He stands taller, moves faster, pushing his body beyond every physical limit. By the time the final beat lands, he ends in a powerful stillness, sweat glistening under the lights, heart pounding like thunder. For a heartbeat, silence. Then the explosion, cheers, screams, applause. The entire hall stands. One of the judges presses the golden buzzer, and a storm of gold confetti rains from above. The dancer looks up, tears mixing with sweat, his chest rising and falling with disbelief and relief. Cameras zoom in to capture the moment, a broken dream reborn, a spirit unshaken. Clips of the performance begin flooding social media instantly. Within hours, millions of views. Headlines flash across screens, the comeback that shook America. Backstage, fellow contestants hug him, saying, "You made us believe again." He doesn't respond, he just smiles, exhausted but alive, his dream breathing again. Somewhere in the crowd, a kid watches on TV, eyes wide, whispering to himself, "If he can, maybe I can too." This wasn't just about winning a show. It was about rewriting the meaning of victory. The true viral moment wasn't the dance, the music, or even the golden buzzer, it was the courage to keep going when the world said stop. Because sometimes the most powerful performance is not what the world sees on stage, but what happens in the heart that refuses to give up. Golden confetti fills the air, shimmering under the flood of stage lights like 1,000 tiny stars falling to earth. The audience is still on its feet, clapping and cheering, but something deeper lingers beneath the noise. A shared emotion, an understanding that they've witnessed more than entertainment tonight. They've witnessed transformation. The finalists stand together, hands trembling, faces wet with tears, as the host calls out their names one last time. Behind every smile is a story, and behind every story, a storm that once seemed impossible to survive. As the music swells, the camera pans slowly across the faces of the performers, a singer who once performed in subway stations, a magician who learned his craft to escape the pain of a broken home, a teenage guitarist who faced bullying for his passion. Each of them has walked through fire to reach this moment. The judges rise for one final standing ovation, not because of perfection, but because of courage. The AGT 2025 stage has never felt more alive. The host steps forward and says, "This isn't just talent. This is the American dream, alive on stage." The crowd erupts again, and somewhere in the back rows, a mother clutches her child, whispering, "That could be you someday." Cameras flash as the performers embrace, not as competitors, but as survivors of their own journeys. For a moment, the line between winners and losers disappears. They've all won something far greater, they've won back belief in themselves. As the lights fade to a softer glow, a voiceover begins, calm, powerful, and filled with warmth. "America, tonight you didn't just watch a show. You watched resilience in motion. You watched people who refused to let fear decide their future. You saw that dreams don't belong to the lucky, they belong to the brave." The audience listens in silence. Some wipe their eyes. Others smile through tears. It's not just a show anymore. It's a movement. The performers walk off stage, greeted by their families, agents, and fans. The young woman from the first scene hugs her mother tightly. "We made it," she whispers, her voice trembling. The dancer from the second scene sits alone for a moment, staring at the golden confetti scattered on the floor. He picks up a handful and lets it fall slowly from his fingers, whispering, "I told them I'd be back." The weight of what they've done starts to sink in. The impossible became real. Outside the arena, reporters gather, lights flashing, microphones reaching out. The stories are already spreading online, clips going viral, headlines shouting inspiration across the world. But the true story isn't the fame. It's what happens next. Someone at home sees their video and decides not to quit. Someone starts again. Someone believes for the first time in years. As the final shot fades to black, the narrator's voice returns one last time, steady and full of conviction. To every dreamer watching, remember this. Greatness isn't born on the stage. It's built in the moments when no one's watching, when you fall, and rise again anyway. So dream louder, work harder, and shine brighter. Because one day, your moment could shock the world. The TechNova USA logo flashes across the screen, the music swells, and the story ends, not with applause, but with hope.